Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Turner?
I'm fine. I'm trying to fix the fact that it says Daily Dose Inspired Wednesday, due 58. I'm not sure that I can fix it in the moment. Yeah, I think I can't. So sorry for that typo, people. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes I'm a bad copy editor. My brain works way faster than my fingers, unfortunately. Or actually, I guess maybe my fingers work faster than my brain. Whatever, I'll fix it when we're done. Welcome to Inspired Wednesday. So, I'm teaching this book in this class that I'm teaching, Creative Careers. It's an excellent book. I've referenced it a number of other times. It's by a man named Jeffrey Madoff, who I've gotten to know just a little bit. Really, really interesting man, coming to talk to my students. Like his best friend is Ralph Lauren. So he's a big deal, and he's coming to talk to my students, and he's so thrilled to be doing it, and I'm so thrilled to be connected to him in this tiny way. But I love this book. So I'll just say, as part of today's conversation, if you are someone who's trying to figure out how to maybe transition to something more creative. And by creative, I really mean not in the arts, but broadly creative. He says if a dentist comes up with a new drilling technique, that's a creative enterprise. Yeah. So, I think of your work as being highly creative because you're asking questions and then trying to find the answers. So anyway, I really, really recommend the book, Creative Careers, Making a Living with Your Ideas by Jeffrey Madoff, M-A-D-O-F-F, no relation to Bernie. I know he gets asked that a lot. So I want to read you 3 paragraphs from a section on calculating risk. And this is for high net worth business owners, is the premise inside the book. But it has nothing to do with that for what we're going to use it for today. So this is from a man named Dan Sullivan, who runs a business called Strategic Coach. So Dan Sullivan on trying to look into the future. Let me just turn that all the way down. You can never assess risk in the present. Whatever you are thinking about doing is possibly a risk. Imagine yourself 3 years in the future. 3 years is a phenomenally good time frame. And the reason is that we can actually imagine it. It's the year after next. Most people can visualize that. You get out 5 years, 10 years, and most people can't. Next year is a little bit too soon. Run 2 paths out to 3 years in the future. The first one is you're going to make the decision to do the new activity. How are you 3 years from now as a result of having done this? Best possible circumstances. Then imagine not doing that and not doing anything else for the next 3 years, but being where you are. How are you if you haven't taken on this new activity 3 years from now? Ask yourself, which is the better 3 years? You can only assess risk against a future outcome, and that's a skill. A lot of people don't have this skill. It's like going to the gym. The more you do it, the more this visualization of the future actually increases. If you're going to do this, then what during the next 90 days do you have to do so that 3-year thing actually happens? That's where the strategic game plan really starts. So, 3 years, visualize making a decision, making a move, making a change. 3 years, visualize doing nothing different than what you're doing right now. And imagine what's the outcome of those 2 scenarios. And then if you decide that you want to make a change in the next 3 years, that you want to take the visualization of positive change path, what do you have to do in the next 90 days to start going? Because guess what? Visualizing change doesn't actually cause change. Visualizing change just gives you the scenario as it lays out. You have to do the work to make the change.
Yeah, talk is cheap.
Talk is easy. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to fix my stop drinking. I'm going to make my kid do this. I'm going to exercise more. I'm going to swear less. I'm going to watch less TV. I'm going to write more letters. I'm going to fill in the blank. That's easy. What's hard is then saying, all right, what do I need to do in the next 90 days to actually do it? And that's where I think there can be some real application of high net worth business CEOs and their ability to strategize and envision risk with your average run-of-the-mill person, be they an addict or be they just a person who wants to change something in their life.
Yeah. It all starts with a small step, but you have to then you can't really just launch yourself out and shove off in one direction. You have to think about it just a little. I've never done this. We go to spin. We never got a personal trainer. We just decided to go to spin classes 3 times a week, and walk. We've worn our dog out since March because the amount of time we walked 2 or 3 times a day, and we took Lily to start with, and then she gave us one of these looks like, yeah, no, I like walking, but you two have lost it. You need to plan ahead. You do actually have to think of a plan. Like Annie, I may have said this before. If you want to take this in a concept of not drinking,
Context.
Thank you. Of not drinking. Anyone can be sober. You don't drink for a day. Planning to stay sober, little bit of work, and a lot of and support, and you need to work to set that up. So it's a plan with a bit of work, but it can be very creative, and you can be very creative. I mean, Dee's right. I do. It's nice for someone from an arts partnership to actually give what I do an almost creative, artistic bent.
Well, when you look down a microscope or into your other equipment.
No, that's good. Keep going. That's
Thank
good.
you. FPLC, is that a thing?
FTIR, but you're close.
Oh, yeah, an FTIR, whatever that is. Don't say it. You could say it. What is it?
Fourier transform infrared. It's an infrared microscope.
Obviously. When you look into those, I think it's the equivalent to standing on a bare stage or to looking at a blank canvas. You might have an idea what you're going to see when you look down that microscope, but until you start, you don't really know what's there. You don't really know what the conclusion is. So
I know you're dying to say this. Why don't you mention steam instead of STEM?
I don't need to. I don't discuss anything but STEAM.
Yeah,
because you're crazy town if you only think science, technology, engineering, and math is the way forward. Crazy town.
And on a side note, you are absolutely correct.
I know I am.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no question.
It's true. It's absolutely, completely true.
Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Inspired Wednesday. What do you want to change in your life?
Could be anything.
Could be anything. Could be something small. Maybe you want to drink less coffee. That's a legitimate goal. And you know what? I know that for many, many people, it's a near impossible thing to contemplate, to envision, and then to do. We're
not singling out my mother-in-law, by the way, Bonnie. So
you've dialed it way back. Anyway, I think that what this comes down to is think about where you want to be 3 years from now in any capacity of your life. Envision making that choice, that change, working towards that end goal. Now envision doing nothing, staying where you are. Where you are might be fine. Where we are is fine. We have a really lovely life.
Yes, we do.
You know what? I want so much more. I don't want my life to look like this in 3 years. I want it to be this times multiple other things.
Because you can build on it if you're successful at one thing. And also be flexible. I mean, one of the things I've always argued about how science is taught is, there is the scientific principle and hypothesis driven thinking, but it does put you in a box, and that's no way to be in. Don't be in a box.
Yeah.
Think about the next logical thing, but be flexible. Allow change. And that's what you're trying to do. You want to creatively change something, you have to take account for the spin ball or the
unknowns.
The unknowns.
Yeah. So
thanks for stopping me getting into weird
You're welcome.
sports references. I knew I was spiraling there.
Nope, nobody knows. So set your goal, envision it, and then I think actually the most important part of this 3 paragraphs is, what are you going to do in the next 90 days to do more than say, yeah, I'm gonna lose weight, stop drinking, blah, 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 fill in the blank, save money, whatever. What are you going to actually do to step towards that goal? Because if you just say it and do nothing, you have no credibility, and you don't want to be a person with no credibility. So figure it out. Think about the year after next.
And be flexible.
And forgive yourself if sometimes you drop the ball.
Yeah, if you fall down, get up again. It's easy.
Yeah. So I think that's an excellent, inspiring thought for the day. We'd love to hear how your envisioning goes, so we can talk about it tomorrow. Remember that tomorrow is Challenge Thursday and Friday is Guest Friday. We had to switch it around this week. So I'm very excited for Challenge Thursday, actually. We have an idea that Dr. Mary has thought every day we were going to talk about. So finally, it's tomorrow. So have an excellent day. We'll see you tomorrow. Set your goal for 3 years from now, and then set your first step for 90 days, within the next 90 days, and just do it. Just do it. You're out nothing to try it, and you're out everything if you don't. So, we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.